Now if you're presented with this and you have power steering seats, or you're in a junkyard trying to remove power steering seats and there's no power to the car, you're going to have to get underneath of that, or you could...
Power steering seats?
Power steering, I just asked... Thank you. I would have edited that out anyway. Okay, so... Okay, so now we're going to take out the seats, and that's fairly easy, just 4 bolts. And that's actually a frequently asked question sometimes for those who are unfamiliar with working on a 626. How do I take out the seats? Well, and you just pop this little cover right up, you just pop it off somehow. Oh, no, this one's actually got tiny little screws on it. How about that? Did you know that? Mine didn't. And then you just take out the screw, pop off the cover. Ooh, got some rusty there. Rusty crusties. Oh, that is destroyed.
Weight reduction.
So there's one on each corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. You take it out. If you're in a junkyard and you have power seats and they are tilted all the way back because they're power, you either have to get to the connector underneath the power seat and provide power to it somehow, or you can just try and take them out as they are. Just realize that getting a seat out that is tilted all the way back is going to be a little bit harder. So if possible, on a power seat, you want to slide it forward. That's not always possible in a junkyard situation, so just do what you got to do in order to get it out. Now you're rubbing off on me, that's all that is. There you go, that's all there is to it. Let's do the other side. And then there's going to be a wire harness under there, especially for power seats. But even if you don't have power seats, you're still going to have a harness there for the seat belt buckle.
Careful to remove the seat. Okay, and stop. There we go. Oh, that's a sucker sound.
You can just throw it right down there.
Well, like 30, 40 pounds.
Seat out.
Get out of here.
And now you have a lot more room. It's still going to be a little uncomfortable laying on this hump. This is AC venting. God, all this interior stuff is rusted too. And of course you'll find junk under here. Just clean that up, including a fucking blunt.
Really? Huh.
I can't smell anything. It smells like grease. My fingers smell like grease.
I don't smell anything.
Yeah, I don't smell it. It's expired.
I think so. It's seen better days.
All this stuff's gonna have to get vacuumed up. That's a lot of junk. But you'll find some free change. That's the Andy seat mod. He is actually that tall too.
Actually.
Oh,
where's my e-brake? There we go. Sideways. See what happens when you don't use my bronze shifter bushings? That's what happens. You gotta use Andy's shifter bushings.
We can get those bronze bushings installed today too.
Oh yeah.
Make sure the steering wheel's straight.
Well, it's locked.
Oh, never mind then. Okay.
Actually, I need it to be locked.
I knew that.
Hot potato. Alright, so just disconnect the airbag, the horn, and the cruise control buttons. Take a guess, what size is that?
19? 21?
21 probably. Sold to the highest bidder. What breaker bar?
Yeah, right.
So you don't smack yourself in the face with a steering wheel, put the nut back on. This is probably the 10th steering wheel I've removed. There it is.
There are 4 screws under there, I think.
Probably.
And that's useful if you want to remove your column cover to get at your ignition key light in order to change the bulb.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, I'm just talking if it burns out.
Like if you want to change the color?
You don't have to do the mod, you know? I'm just saying you don't have to, but there is a video on that if you want to. Oh, does this one not have a light? This one doesn't have a light. I'm going to mod that in there. Screw that. I like my light.
No light.
That dog just ain't going to hunt.
Well, there's no wire for it.
I'll make one.
Sure.
Illumination circuit for the win.
I was wondering why they have this like metal inside of it.
I don't know.
Like it makes it heavy.
I have no safety, so your knee doesn't come up in an accident and break it. That's all I got.
I just put the screws back in so you don't miss them.
Oh, the other one was probably on the column cover itself. That back one. Yep.
Yeah. Good call.
I've taken them apart too. Oh, you remember when we were hammering on the ignition to try and get it out? I finally figured out how to get it out.
Really?
They are bolted down, and then they grind the bolts off.
The heads like shear off once it reaches certain torque.
They're never supposed to come out.
Yeah. So how do you take them out?
You have to drill them out or cut them out. Anti-theft measure. It would probably be a good idea to get the one down on the bottom first, because once you take this off, the column is going to drop. Unless you like working on it with the column resting on your chest.
I'm not you, man.
Which I have done, and it hurts after 5 minutes. That's a heavy column. The collar isn't going to fit through that hole.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Okay, I'll do it. It's a nice golden looking bolt. And this is just to get the column out of the way. Oh look, cut wires, yay. Somebody had an aftermarket alarm system here. Once you get that out, there's going to be 2 bolts. One there, and one up there on either side of the column. And that's going to let the column actually separate from the bottom. Okay, the next step is probably going to be removing your harnesses down here, all the plugs, and there's going to be 5 plugs, one for the airbag. So there are 2 large blue plugs. So the blue side goes with the blue side, and on this plug you have a white end, and on the other end is white as well. And all the rest you can't mess those up at all. So 5 plugs.